Okay, how did I not have this registered on my map before? Anyway, welcome back to Persona 5 Royal. I'll see you back at the safe room.
We're here? What do we do now?
What I'm gonna do now is talk to everyone and then talk to the team, as always.
Well...
Yeah, maybe this research facility
tell
being
me.
built here has something to do with Maruki himself.
Well...
I mean, when you think about it, though, anything can become a distorted desire when it's achieved through methods like this kind of mass brainwashing. It's really all about the actions rather than the, you know, the motives or the desire. I'll think about what skill card to make, because I only get one today.
Well...
I say that, and I'm probably going to forget to do it entirely, but anyway. Yeah, it's been kind of obvious, but it's sort of not just a science lab, it's also a, yeah, again, cognitive research lab, kind of a university research facility, a place for writing a paper. Unfortunately, I feel like anybody in this world, we're already lab rats. Anyone who's been in Mementos, really, which is anyone, because everyone's shadows are in there, if you know where to look. But let's head out here. Oh yeah, these walls look pretty cool as well. Still looks a little bit cult-like. But this room right here, this room might look like a mundane office, but it's more confusing than it seems. I remember this part of the palace quite vividly. So let's head on through. Like, of everything else in this palace, this part in particular just gives me a real Psychonauts vibe. We have these plants in here too, but I don't know exactly what's going on here. Like, what would a...
I can feel it.
Cognitive researcher want with plants? Maybe like they're trying to figure out which plants affect the happiness of patients most optimally, or maybe they're just exposing those, like maybe those plants are like thoughts and they're exposing them to happiness light to see which ones grow better. You know, I had a Akechi in the party for the last one. Let's, I was gonna say let's go ahead and put in Sumire, but I do want to show what Akechi's Ancient Day looks like. There are a lot of spiral staircases in this part, and where they lead can be a little confusing and not entirely obvious. Also, there's a treasure chest, and there's also a locked door from earlier that we can get. You turn to face forwards like the Shine hook you. Oh yeah, there's, also we can see Yusuke's, it has like a snake around it too. That's really cool looking. Yeah, I'm going to show off all of them here. So this is Ancient Day. Yeah, I see this one quite a lot. It's basically just a red, dark ray gun. It's pretty classic Akechi, really. Yusuke's, yeah, has a giant snake coiled around it, which is awesome. Unfortunately, it is not, it doesn't have a status associated with it. At least not yet. It's always fun to get mass technicals with that. And yeah, let's go ahead and, since you're like the only one left who has area physical attacks, let's do this. Actually, it's the same area physical attack that Sumire used to have. I'm kind of making her entirely all in on critical hits, and her area attack's going to rely on magic, because her magic is pretty solid, and she has an amp skill, which is alright. Okay, so yeah, let's take Akechi out, put Sumire in, and I haven't used Morgana in a little bit. Let's have Morgana. So yeah, now I can unlock that from the other side. It's like not a particularly spectacular shortcut, but it's something. I also need to keep an eye out because I do think there are some Maruki logs in these rooms too. I don't think they show up with Third Eye, but I will just need to pay attention because I want to make sure that I show all of those. Yeah, these filing cabinets right here, I've got to check all of those. Gonna go to earlier rooms to see if I missed any. Don't want these to be famous last words, but not that I can tell. Let's move on. These fans too. These fans I have very vivid memories of as well because of reasons that we'll be seeing shortly. I do like climbing up these spiral staircases with like glass floors on them though. But as you can see by the door here, that's another video room. But again, the long way round. We actually do need these in order to reach the treasure. So, there's Well, I was gonna say there's no harm to finding them, but like, we literally require them, so, to actually every harm in missing them. Yeah, there looks like, if you look really closely here, you can see there's actually a will seed room all the way at the end of there, but the question is, how do we get there? Well, that question shall be answered, hopefully soon, as we enter this green room of plants.
I'll reveal your true form.
Actually, not just green, there's also red and blue in here.
Joker took one out.
Oh, it actually does drain ice. It's just that, yeah, if you repel an attack into yourself, I guess it's not drained then.
Panther knocked one down. Looking good.
Very nice damage from Panther there, though, so let's do this. Alolan used to be the ultimate Empress persona back in P3, so it's kind of nice seeing it back here. I don't believe it was in vanilla P5 at all. I also feel like it's been a while since I've seen Arn's animation
They
there.
didn't stand a chance.
But yeah, this room. Well, not only do we have an optional treasure chest, relax gel.
Treasure chest spotted.
Fitting.
Must be something good inside.
You're a little late there, Morgana. This thing right here.
This is...
We don't need to mess with it to proceed. Well, if we look closely
It's somewhere.
at it, you might notice that the green light is on, and all the plants that are on shelves with green lights on them are growing. Or like, as you can see, that green section there, the plants are growing big vines, but the red and blue light shelves, the plants aren't growing. And if you look closely there, you'll see a little note there about color, about like light color theory, and what mixing different colors of light does. Yeah, this is going to be important later, because as you can see here, there are red shelves, and the red shelves with the light shining on them, those plants are growing wildly.
Beat 'em up. We're evenly matched here.
I like to fuse this thing in the Velvet Room rather than recruit it as a shadow, but I suppose I could try.
One enemy shot down. Panther's rocking it.
An unknowable Lovecraftian entity is begging for mercy and is now going to join our party. Only in Persona, people. Only in Persona. I love the things that Persona makes you say. Well, actually, technically this can happen in mainline SMT too, but I don't think Huster is in any of those games. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I want to say Huster is only in Persona 2. In Persona 2, you actually couldn't even get Huster unless you, said a specific phrase that I think in the Japanese version was Huster's actual summoning ritual from the Lovecraft mythos, but in English was just changed to Huster come forth in all capitals. And then that actually unlocked the item you needed to summon Huster. Yeah, it's interesting how some of the earlier Persona games had, like, items you needed to summon specific
Don't worry
personas.
though. They're no big deal.
Oh, I don't have either of you, actually, so let's... Once again... Okay, I mean, admittedly, Phantom Show is a little busted with, an ailment boost, but still, it's pretty late in the game.
Bonafide.
Okay, thank you for joining my cause. I want you in the compendium anyway. You've been a long time coming. Unfortunately, this means you will no longer be called Hedonistic Braggart, and that's an amazing title. I'm trying to think what my favorite, like, random enemy title is. Like, I mean, Succubus is kind of on the nose.
That's a new one, isn't it?
Metatron's, which is completely unused, is Shadow of God, which sounds insanely cool. But again, like, Metatron is... Metatron doesn't show up as an enemy until an optional quest fight in Strikers, I believe. But it has, like, data as a shadow, and I think it's just got placeholder stats, but again, its shadow name is Shadow of God, which is incredible. You know what? I'm not actually going to take this risk. I feel like you'll die to any crit, so I'm going to downshot you and see if I can try and get you in the compendium as well. The Shadowed one. Everything wants to join me today. Yeah, posing like that definitely looks like her art, although in some games Skahar has red robes and in others she has black. Skahar was also a former Ultimate Persona. She was Ultimate, I believe, Priestess in Persona 3. Yeah, she was Ultimate Priestess, because Alalat was Ultimate Empress. So in this case, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna immediately... Yeah, let's get rid of Throne. Brain Jack is potentially useful, so I'll keep that with me. I don't think I've got an alarm yet either, which is kind of weird. Please get an alarm now, that'd be amazing. Oh, yeah. Was not going to positively jinx it there. And these plants here, there's no real light on them at all, or it's cyan, and all of them look kind of dead, actually. I thought that was a shadow for a second. You kind of jump scared me there. I mean, I guess they do kind of look like like the top lights on it look like eyes, but what I was going to start talking about was something about Sumire's Confidant that I actually did. I wanted to mention this. I like made a mental note for me to mention this ages ago, and I forgot to. But yeah, so in rank 8, the option to walk up to Sumire when she is in her mutant giraffe outfit, that option is one of the very few stat-locked dialogue choices in all of Persona 5. You need max guts to walk up to Sumire when she is wearing that outfit. I am not making this up. You need as much guts to do that as you need to be a witness so your ex-Yakuza friend doesn't get shot by his actually Yakuza former friend. Now, I was about to say I don't have lower either, but yeah, lower's dead. Yeah, I really need to make sure that I keep using all my down shots. These can be used in mini-bosses though, and at the very end of this palace session, there is going to be a mini-boss that shows up that is quite dangerous, so maybe I should save it for there, because this mini-boss does, like, repel physical and gun. But I have another strategy that I plan on using for that mini-boss.
With this power.
Okay, good, level 85.
Okay.
I wonder if I will hit 99 in this run by the end of the game. Aha! We've got another one of these. Password Deja effing Vu. Wow, Ryuji. Even when he's not voice acted, he has incredible dialogue. So, the authentication question this time, for when Maruki forgets his password, is what was missing that caused the research into cognitive science to be shut down?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking for a second, like, isn't what was missing the title of, like, a fanfiction? And then I was like, oh, no, it's an official thing from Adventure Time, I think, which I didn't actually watch, but I'm on TV tropes a lot, so I absorb some information via that. Can I continue my skill card luck?
I suppose. Oh, some rare loot!
No, just a magic ointment.
Do it with style!
I did have Baal in my party when I, got its skill card, so maybe it's more likely if you already have the persona, like, currently in your stock. Because it seems very, very rare otherwise. Like, I've gone through almost... Wow, that's a belated alarm. I've gone through almost 150 hours of this game. Next time I save, I probably will have actually 150 hours of playtime. And yeah, this was my first time ever seeing that happen, which is completely insane. But oh yeah, this is why things get confusing for me, because here, there's no obvious exit to this room unless you realize there's a spiral staircase in here that you haven't been down before, which is kind of hard to see when it's, you know, still marked in white thanks to, like, the room itself. And this is the other entrance to that locked door. But before I go in there, I want to go up this spiral staircase. Because there's a relatively short-ish optional part of this room that leads to that will seed that I want to go through. That's locked too. But we need to get in there. But as you can see, there is a Fafnir in this room. I haven't had to fight a Fafnir in ages, so given that I'm about to fight a Fafnir, let's go ahead and put Haru in the party, because she's kind of okay against Fafnirs, just because I like to take them down with mental ailments. Or I, you know, could use sleep with Raul.
Got the advantage.
That's a possibility too. Oh hey, Joker has 600 HP, nice. Yeah, I think I still want to use this method, though. I was about to say Angry Dragon is angry, but apparently, according to a Runaway Guys video, Angry Dragon is actually slang for something sexual, so let's not say that. But let's go ahead and Psycho Force you in the face, and I hope that's not sexual slang for something either. There we go, that's the damage on Fafnir as I like to see. Yeah, in my first playthrough, I had a lot more magic on Koryu than this. I had, like, Koryu with at least 70 magic. Like, it was really high.
Bored now. Oh!
What's in this box? Hi, Morgana. We have Golden Dress. A dress that gives access to Marie. In fact, thinking about that... yeah, it's certainly better than Divine Black Tights, although that puts Makoto's agility up higher than Sumire, which is kind of sad, because Sumire is supposed to have the best agility of the party. I did have a tangent that I wanted to talk about, but first, this is the reason why I remember the fans so well, because this happens when you grapple up here. Just check over here, doesn't really look like there's much else. But if we go down here... We're now on the other side of that earlier locked door. I do remember this because you do, I think, have to do something really cool to actually get the Will Seed here. It's something that I've been looking forward to a lot. I'm going to try a little bit of a different strategy here.
Look at how angry it is. Hit it with some psychokinesis.
What I will be doing now. Oh, they both just died. Okay then, I was hoping to baton pass to Sumire and have her finish it, but no.
Okay.
But yeah, my planned tangent has something to do with Sumire as well, because it involves a, this is yet another thing that, I mean, people were pretty respectful towards my opinions on Sumire's, like, romance. Like I make sure to stress that I don't dislike Sumire as a character, it's just her romance route itself and how it's written that I have an issue with. Like, I wanted to ship Joker into Sumire. I actually did ship it in rank 9, I was very close to, and then, yeah, then stuff happened, and I wasn't really...
How about we make it forget its skills?
I suppose we can try and do something like that. I did say earlier that Morgana and Haru combo quite well, except I deleted Morgana's, ailment skills, because of course I did. So actually, they don't combo well anymore. So instead I'm gonna have to count on you critting. But yeah, so... a common argument that I often see is, well, is that... Sumire is at least better than, well not at least, but like Sumire and her romance are better than Marie because she's a much nicer, overall more pleasant character. And I guess this is just something like, as somebody who's never really minded Marie all that much, and I guess it's just because oftentimes whenever a character gets vocally hated by the fan base, I tend to gravitate towards them because often I'm a fan of the underdog. But also like Marie, so here's the thing. I never felt like Marie's, whole, romance was as intrusive as people thought it was, or her presence in Persona itself was as intrusive as I thought it was. Persona 4, I mean. Here's the really cool thing, by the way. You break the window and jump down.
His will seeds is here. Let's go ahead and take it off his hands.
His, yeah, Akechi really doesn't like Maruki that much right now. But like, the thing is that one, Marie isn't actually involved in the main storyline at all outside of her social link, until the extra content in the final semester.
This is going rather well.
But even then, I feel like that's more of an extension of her social link than anything else, but also her romance route itself, it isn't as forced as a lot of people think it is. Like, a lot of people accuse her of always kissing you on Valentine's Day, regardless of if you romanced her or not. That is not true. If you don't do her romance route, you don't actually get the kiss there. That scene is different. Similarly, the love confession in the epilogue that she's kind of infamous for, only if you romanced her. So, really, a lot of that Marie stuff only happens because 99.9999999% of Persona 4 footage on YouTube comes from harem playthroughs, and because of that, people are just watching those scenes from playthroughs that explicitly romance Marie. Now, I will continue my Marie topic after this, because this is important. Obviously.
Damn it! Just hearing it from you's pissing me off. You've come so far. What problem could they possibly have now?
I tried negotiating in person with the professor and the investors, but they simply wouldn't listen. Due to the lack of concrete evidence, all further research and funding in the field of cognitive science will cease. They told me it's already over and done with. But why now, of all times? When they first saw my paper, they were positively beaming with excitement.
In the research lab in Odaiba? They're not going through with that anymore?
Yep. Damn it. To hell with their concrete evidence. How are we supposed to get any evidence if we can't perform the research first? If we can change the cognition of trauma victims, their suffering can be eliminated. Who knows how many people could be saved with this research? How much more obvious could its benefits be?
So, do you really think the lack of evidence is the reason they shut it all down?
It makes absolutely no sense to me. After all the time and money spent, to just cut off my research because it wasn't all proven sound immediately. Even if that was the result of some kind of conspiracy, what could I do about it? It's not like I have any proof.
I see. So, what are you gonna do now? Sponsors have backed out, so I doubt the college is gonna let you keep using their labs.
I'm done with that college. They have nothing for me at this point. I'll look for work elsewhere while I keep fleshing out that research paper. Eventually I'll prove the existence of the cognitive world. Once I've done that, no one will be able to complain. Rumi, I swear I'm going to do it. I have the power now. It cost me my life with you. So I'm going to rescue everyone from their pain. I don't care how long it takes me. It's going to happen.
So that was another of Dr. Maruki's memories? Yes, I believe so. Seemed to be a much more recent memory than the first one we saw, though.
You also saw Shibusawa there, and I believe that's the first time we're hearing him with voice acting too.
His research was cut off.
So after the incident with his girlfriend, he progressed in his research to harness cognitive science as a healing practice. However, his research was shut down, and his career along with it. All he had left was his resolve to prove his research valid, then use it to save people. That seems to be the message delivered by the videos we found.
It must have been his dream, to use his research to save people here.
If that sounds good to you, would you prefer we just turn around and go home?
That isn't an option.
Yeah, what she says. If anything, we've got to pull out all the stops to win this one.
Like I said, I feel like this is just about trying to save Maruki from his own complex.
Well, the vote was unanimous.
But thinking about it, who do we know who would be ecstatic upon finding evidence of cognitive science, and then suddenly cut the funding to it and say, nope, we don't want any evidence of cognitive science at all? Yeah, I wonder. We may have heard some stuff about that already. What was missing that caused the research into cognitive science to be shut down? Well, they said it was evidence, but I think we all know that's a lie. In fact, the people he approached for funding, they probably did have evidence.
Yes!
And that was probably the reason why it got shut down to begin with. The thing is though, because of that, Maruki is extremely lucky to be alive. Because the other person, who they had researching cognitive science for them, you all know what happened to her. Okay, this one's a little easy to miss, but there is, as you can see with this here... Also, all of these light up blue when you use Third Eye, but there is another Maruki diary here. August 23rd. I still can't figure out what that voice was in Rumi's room. Was it my subconscious? Was it... It feels so strange writing this as a scientist, but was it some kind of godlike being? I have no way to verify any of these hypotheses. It doesn't matter at this point. All I know is that I've lost Rumi and gained a strange ability, and this ability may be my key to the cognitive world. I believe this power comes with a mission. My experiment must continue. For all the people like Rumi, I must defy and improve this atrocious world. Not abominous world, because that would be Yusuke. I have to face the truth. I will never see Rumi again. If I interact with her, I could trigger her memories and all her grief would flood back. You may never hear this promise, Rumi, but I swear, I will make you a better reality. Thank you so much for everything. One thing I like about Maruki and his storyline is that he doesn't try to reconnect with Rumi after he wipes her memory. He's content to just let her live her life now. And whether or not what he did to her was entirely ethical, that's for you to decide, but it sidesteps any potentially awkward issues involving getting romantically involved with someone whose memory you've tampered with. But suddenly this place takes on a completely new form. We're now in a psychological exam room that's run by the shadows we've been fighting all this time. So, please head to the exam room, but it's not going to give us a death rank up. Well, I mean, sometimes it can be addictive to do online psychology tests and see what personality type you end up as. As you can see here, the stealable items have gone back to the hearts. Also, we've got Rosark inkblot tests on the wall, which just reminds me of that, isn't there like, there's in an episode of Big Bang Theory, also these shadows are powerful, so thankful they're not attacking us, where Sheldon is saying that his, like, responses to the inkblot test was A, a bat, B, a bat, C, a bat, D, a bat, and E, my father killing my mother with a hypodermic needle. I was like, that escalated quickly. I wonder if they feel like we won't be hostile to them anymore after we've gone through the exam. Depending on your reply, we'll have to respond accordingly. Well, I mean, let's not tell them, how do you enjoy the therapy technique of my gun in your face? Where we determine if patients are mentally sound or not. This can only end well. I mean, admittedly, this right here, I think, is actually true of real-life psychology. Like, very true. Oftentimes, psychologists will tell you things about yourself that you might not have been aware of. They even kind of look like real psychologist waiting rooms. So we have to answer questions and touch the information panel. I'll just say right here, though, I think I'll take care of that in the next part, because that's worthy of a part in its own right. At the end of this one, I'm going to head back and do some fusion in the Velvet Room with the alarm. Do not worry. This treatment will not hurt at all. Small gift, huh? I'm still a little suspicious. And yeah, what he's doing in Mementos. So this is pretty much Maruki's own mental representation of how his powers in Mementos work. Here, they probably mess with people's heads in some other way. Yeah, that doesn't make us any more reassured, Futaba, just saying. They'll hook you up to the brain drain machine. That's from like an old PC game, Dr. Brain, that I played when I was a kid. Not even one of like the famous Dr. Brain ones. It was called IQ Adventure.
I can see it.
But we do have a safe room here.
This feeling. I think there's a safe room around here.
I just pointed that out for Taba. Just wanted to get that lock icon on the map here. And there's still that locked door earlier on in the palace that I have not been able to open yet. And yeah, I kind of forget exactly how.
Whoa!
Rudy's like, oh no, my biggest threat, science. But yeah, what I'm going to be actually doing is, well, I'll save first, because I'm going to be doing some fusion alarm-ing action. I've already made a lot of decent things though, but I guess I can see what I can get. I might also want to, although it's probably a bit too late to pull anything out of the compendium without activating accident mode. But normally in my playthroughs, I spread around Will of the Sword a lot more at this point. Will of the Sword is actually quite good on Joker in general because he can get flow, and it stacks quite well with flow, as you'd imagine. But okay, let's see. Let's see if there are any like advanced fusions I haven't done yet. Oh, there. I can make Asura. Oh, I'm missing Okuninushi. And I'm missing, well, yeah, weirdly, Yoshitsune is required for Chiyu, but Yoshitsune is objectively better. And I don't want to get those because they're DLC. Let's actually, okay, before I go for Asura, let's see what else I can
more careful than usual.
make here. I've only got downgrades that I can make, but haven't got Sibylle yet, haven't got Cert or Siegfried. I also need Quetzalcoatl. Lakshmi is an ultimate, though. Oh, but it requires some of my better personas. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for Asura this time. For my first... Or I can't, because I need to get rid of some things to free up space. Oh, Dionysus and Husser, that's fine. I don't need either of those two. Well, you just got an upgrade on your wind skill. Vacuum Wave is kind of why I was saying that, like, Vishnu is sadly outclassed as, like, the supposedly ultimate wind persona, because Husser actually is. Quetzalcoatl is cool. I just kind of wish that I, had needed to use him more. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't really care about this persona anyway. Don't really know about Nuke Break. Growth 3 is solid, though, as he is regenerate. Oh, if it was Invigorate 3 with Mouth of Savoring, that would have been really good. And, yeah, sure, let's go for Megarodine. And, Wind Damp. That's not bad with Vacuum Wave. I'm not sure I said before Brain Jack is potentially good, and now I'm getting rid of it. Part of me wants to see what happens if I actually try and go for a fusion with that and get the guaranteed accident. But I think first I'm going to see what can I itemize. Oh, a shotgun for Haru. The problem is that it only has one round. But, I mean, that's kind of solid.
Is this okay?
I think I have enough room for this. Good.
Select a skill.
Yeah, this kind of combos with Nuke pretty well. Now I'll go for Marakunda as well. And that is another ultimate persona. The one for Sun, too. Ultimate Sun persona, 3 games running. The light of mine that destroyeth all. And while I'm here, though, I can continue that thing that I was saying about Marie. So, one thing that I find kind of, no, I do not want to get rid of Firm Stance, which is actually Asura's signature move in some games. But about, like, regarding Marie. I feel like the Marie hate might actually be a vocal minority, and my reason for that is that... Oh, actually no, Unshaken Will is your signature move, but that does kind of combo decent with Firm Stance. Prevents mental ailments, essentially. But, I mean, he's weak to Psi anyway, so it's not like that's going to stop you from getting technicals. The reason why I say that is that in my Persona 4 videos of the romance routes...
Be prepared for precautions.
Well, if I'm getting a likely accident anyway, let's go full ham and see what I get out of this.
It seems to have...
Of those videos, the Marie romance route actually has the most views of all of them by far. And most of the comments, and I know that, you know, Persona romance route videos tend to be echo chambers, so take this with a grain of salt, but the comments were pretty unanimously positive towards her. Also, we're going to be seeing Lavenza's fusion accident animation for the first time. Gabriel. Okay, then. But yeah, it actually does make me think that Persona 4's Marie hate is kind of a vocal minority. Oh, that's one of the more boring possible, you know, weird fusions you can get, but oh well. I might go back in and see if I can just make anything else. Maybe Okuninushi. And also probably should buy Futsunushi just so that I have access to a Will of the Sword fusion for the next alarm. But yeah, like, I'm not trying to, use this to knock Sumire, but I'm just thinking, like, I honestly think Marie's not really that bad. I think, it helps that I find her bad poetry funny, and I find her tsundere-ness actually funny a lot of the time. Like, yeah,
Which persona are you looking for?
It's hard, because I get that tsunderes can come across as overly cruel sometimes, but there are also other times where I just find them generally hilarious, like, for example, Keaton in Fire Emblem Fates and Selena. And this, people, is why you don't press register all. Because I definitely want to keep the Gabriel that I already have, although this one weirdly has more agility.
Do you truly need this?
I was about to say this can potentially pass down, like, positive thoughts, but then I realized Wealth of the Lotus for auto mask skills is identical in terms of effect.
Choose which skill to inherit.
Yeah, on self by 2 turns, on allies by 2 turns. Auto Ma is on self and allies, so it's buffed regardless. What I suppose I'm trying to say is, I don't like it when people use Sumire as a weapon against Marie. Like, using one character, again, just as a weapon against another. It's something that I've also noticed that a lot of, like, that happens a lot in video game fandoms, like with Bug Fables versus Paper Mario. It's like people will like something, but less, because they actually like the thing, and more just to use it as a weapon against something they dislike. Skahan or a Kalkum, that's fine.
Choose which skill to inherit.
Yeah, Linked Bloodline is a 50% bonus, so it's pretty solid, but as I said back in the bio, it only works on single target skills. Which is perfect for Orichalcum. Maybe I should keep this Seabury and infuse it into something better during an alarm. That's the only auto Ma I don't have. That's interesting. Lakshmi...
Do you wish to fuse this?
This is gonna be a weird thing to have as, like, my auto Ma persona.
Choose which skill to inherit.
But if I do this... Yep, I finally have all 3. And a potential source of SP regeneration. I hate that this is not on Volhumana though, because I really like Volhumana. Maybe I'll fuse a different Volhumana later on, because I like using it in Maruki's Palace just for thematic reasons. But yeah, now I have, finally, the ultimate triple auto Ma persona. Oh, it has Marakunda too, so not a bad starting persona overall. That's redundant. Alternatively, I can immediately get rid of you into a different persona who'll still have a weakness to something. This means I don't get life aid, but again, it's at least more things in the compendium, and I continue my triple auto mask setup.
Entries.
91%! We've crossed 90% compendium. We are well on our way.
May luck be on your side.
And Siegfried is set as my starting persona. With that, I think I'll leave you. No, wait, first, because I know I'll forget to do this if I don't do this. Equip that. And now, on that note, I will leave you. See you next time as the Phantom Thieves get a psych evaluation. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting.